So as this creature rises up from the murky black depths and grabs hold of this obelisk, looking at you with its massive bulbous eyes, you're like, no, I don't think so. You run into this tent, and a couple of things that you notice. When you're running into the tent, all you see is a bright blue void in front of you. You can't see into this tent. Once you step through, you feel that sudden jarring sensation, that sensation of you've missed a step that makes your stomach sink and your chest feel empty. You run into this room, and what you see before you is a much larger space than you were expecting. There is... I'm sorry? Yeah, exactly. As you rush in, you see what looks to be a magical collection of items that line the wall, and the walls seem to be pulsating with this magical energy. Starting from your left as you run in and circling around, you see a collection of potions, oddities, magical weapons, and items. Some kind of strange well-like structure in the corner that is pulsating and rolling. You see a bookshelf off to the side, just one, with a hodgepodge of books that if you stare at for long enough, seem to shift places and the spines change, as if the books are constantly changing. And ever so often, one will flip out, open, leaf through its own pages, close, spin, and then replace itself. You see that there is an opening with an kind of a enclave, a dip in the wall. With steps that lead up. Alcove. With an alcove with the steps that. Thanks, guys. Don't make fun of how I say hard. With steps that lead up to a door. On this door, you see a dial. This dial has several different wedges that it can be turned to on this circular kind of pie chart. Each one of a different color and different symbols on that. This structure that sinks into the wall seems to be floating in nothingness and just like an extra dimensional space. Directly to your right, you see a mundane wooden table.
Yes.
With a mundane wooden chair. A glass of wine, and a woman sitting back in the chair with her legs kicked up and arms folded and looking at all of you as you walk in. She is wearing tight bound robes with bindings down both her forearms, her hands, down her knees to her feet that are bare as she's kicked up on the table looking at you. Her head is completely shaved, and she has blue dots tattooed above her eyebrows, from her forehead down between her eyes, and from her lips down her chin. She looks to be completely human. She is lithe, very fit, but when you look at her closely, her eyes look like a starburst pattern, like a black voided nebula with vast galaxies that are just kind of dancing into the eternities as she looks at you as you run in. She is not, however, the most notable creature that is in this room. You see a long table with articulate designs and a golden inlay on the top of it. These very nice furnishings of chairs circled this table, with one of them twice the size of the other four. There is a creature that stands in this room. Tall, blue-skinned humanoid clad in loose, flowing robes. These robes look again like something that the denizens of Ling were wearing. They're nice, opulent, but they're strange. His are a burgundy color with a golden inlay. He is wearing shoes that curl at the toes, and his heavy, massive blue arms have clasps around both wrists. He has 3 thick, heavy fingers on either hand, and his face is cone-shaped, conical, narrow at the top and widening out towards his jaw, where the skin begins to fold on itself, creating these kind of jowls that layer on themselves. He has a wide mouth that goes across it, and rather than a nose, he only has 2 slitted nostrils at an odd angle. He has 4 eyes, 2 that rest where you would normally expect them, and 2 that are turned sideways and stacked between those and up his conical forehead. He wears a fez. He wears fezzes now. Fezzes are cool. Yeah. This creature turns to face all of you as he holds out that massive hand. He says, "Excuse me, I'd ask you to wait a moment." Looking down, you see that there are tiles that surround the opening of this door. They're glowing and pulsating, and all of you, having some semblance of magic, and you can feel this place is lousy with magic. It is the most magic you have ever felt crammed into a single space. A small table sits directly next to you with what you perceive to be a bag of holding sitting on it. He says, "For the safety of your own items, I would ask you to place them in the bag. Any magical items that you have, they will not be able to cross the threshold."
Knowledge the planes to know what this creature is?
Yes, you may.
I have a conundrum with that.
What is a conundrum?
Place my bag within a bag.
You may simply lay it on the floor.
Okay, good.
Can you carry me? Can you take me in? I'm not magical.
Kinda.
Well, I'm not an item.
Kinda. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Excuse me.
You're people who.
I take off my circlet, my cape, and my boots.
Okay.
That's it.
You don't have a magic weapon? You don't have
Nope.
rings?
Nope.
You don't
One
have...
of these days, my ring of sustenance
will actually work.
I'll be able to wear it for longer than 3 days after the week.
Does it take a week?
It takes a week to start, but then it's like,
I'm too hurt to argue at this point.
So what happens if we cross the threshold with magic items?
oh, he's asleep now.
Oh, nice. That's murder.
He fell asleep waiting.
Good thing it just disintegrates.
The tiles that lay before you will activate, and Mage's Disjunction will destroy every magical item that you have. I am not trying to disarm you. I am simply protecting what is yours.
So is it also protection from keeping the things in the room?
Partly, yes. Also, your brain, it's very itchy. Very itchy brain right now.
Like trap?
Oh,
trap,
yeah.
Trap.
It's as if, like, that's trap, those trap, this is trap, that's trap, that wall's a trap, those books are a trap. That girl over there, she's a trap.
Oh, yep.
I
So
willingly.
much stuff.
All of the things?
Do
Can I just-
potions count?
All anything with magic will set it off, and then it'll become...
No.
Inert.
Yeah.
Set my stuff on the table then.
Do you take any of your items in?
Just my mundane stuff.
He's asking what that is.
Oh, my armor, my sword, my shield. The sword's not magical.
My shirt is magical?
Guess you're going naked.
I'm going just shirtless.
You've done it before.
I have.
We're still in that play, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, I have not taken off the demon makeup since.
Yeah, I just got my robe and a normal dagger.
I'm not going in.
Masterwork. I mean, a few other little odds and ends, but
Can't.
Trinkets, that sort of thing.
yeah.
Can't.
You physically can't, can you?
I guess I could try, but I don't. I'd rather.
And I set the mahogany hourglass on the table as well, as an almost as an afterthought.
I don't want to fucking chance it.
I'll let Robbie buy mine. Oh, that is what she said.
Can we spellcraft this barrier?
C-R-A-F-T.
Yes, you may.
Shit, clap trap.
25. Yes, sir.
Yes.
These tiles are a mage's disjunction trap, but there's a lot more to it that you can't discern. You just know that mage's disjunction will go off if it is crossed with a magic item.
And I am magic item.
Is there more to it that would be discerned?
Oh yeah.
With spellcraft?
Oh yeah.
So higher than 25 would
Mhm.
know something like that. There you go. You should all try.
30.
With a 30, kind of
We'll do
looking
31 before
31?
I take off my.
31.
Yeah.
Looking it over, firstly, it's mage's disjunction. Secondly, it's the permanency spell. So it'll never go away, and it will continue to activate as long as something is crossed that is magical. Magic items can make a will save.
To overcome that,
So it's each item that you have. Yes, make a simple save. And Taylor brings up a good point in it, a Zorn come through here.
Oh yeah, there's a Zorn in there, 100%. Forgot to mention that. So you all start taking off your stuff. Oh, yes, it is Mage's Disjunction Trap, but beyond that, you can tell this place is ugly trapped everywhere, but this is just what you're focusing on for right now.
Okay. It's a good practice run. Increase my lockpicking skills.
You walked into the rogues den.
Yeah.
This is the lockpick training room. I get my feeling up to 60.
Just by being
Go back
there.
prestige.
2 different games.
Yep.
You see Tyrus start to take all of the things off. His hat, his goggles, takes his coat off, leaves his cane
The
there,
nose is fake.
turns his back upside down.
Yeah, takes off the beak.
It's actually a plague doctor's mask, it's just a person. What? I thought you knew.
Takes the feathers off.
I do put the hourglass on the table as well.
Okay.
I'm not going in.
He looks to you. You may stay if you don't wish to remove your items.
Well, he doesn't know if he can with the axe.
It'll allow you to put it down if you cross the threshold. I can recognize the first item when I see it. By the way, he's 10 feet tall. I don't know if I mentioned that.
He didn't mention the larger tree.
I will try it. I will put it down and not touch it.
You will have to cross the threshold with it.
Oh,
It won't permanently destroy it, but it will remove all magical properties, including the curse. And unless you pick it up again, the curse will be broken.
I cannot follow what you just said. I don't.
If you take it across, Mage's Disjunction will go off, the curse will be removed, you can put the axe down, and you are no longer cursed unless you pick it back up when the duration of the spell is over.
Wait, do they regain? No, it destroys magical items, right? Or is it just disable?
All magical effects, magical items in the radius of the spell, except for those you carry or touch, are disjointed. That is, the spell-like effects are unraveled and destroyed completely.
Okay.
And each permanent
spell
magic
effects.
item must make blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
An item in the creature's possession uses its own will save, blah, 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 blah. If the item saving throws results on that one. On the die, the item is destroyed instead of being suppressed.
The duration is normally 1 minute per level.
So after that duration, they would retain.
They would regain their magical properties. Unless they're rolling that one.
But you also know about the permanency spell.
On the room, though.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
not
it's on the
for the-
spell for it to stay there, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
spell itself.
Yeah. So just don't roll one.
So as long as I don't, to my understanding.
Also, if it does go off, never mind.
So
Go on.
I would have to go through with the axe in order for it to not hurt me.
Correct.
And they would allow me to do that.
Yeah, he's just saying for your items, you can leave them. Because there's a 5% chance it'll be destroyed. And he's saying,
Yeah. But Zorn just walked through and they like the things. Were they not just steal our items?
the Zorns?
Yeah.
That's something you can bring up.
I mean, yeah, this is a character.
Oh, you asked that?
Yeah.
He looks down at the Zorn. It does, as I say. Nope.
Is there like something to hang it on the door?
Sure.
Okay.
There's not.
No.
It is this big, by the way.
I
It's
know,
not a
but
small
still.
creature.
I was afraid of my items. That's a lot of items. It's my entire character. Alright.
If you're nothing without the suit.
I am nothing without the suit.
Shane is still at this.
So just walk across.
You actually no.
He gestures to the table.
I'll go and sit down. I have put everything down.
I step up to the table.
I need your sword to make a will save.
The sword?
Roll me a d20.
It's not magical. It's cold iron. That's it. That's a physical property.
Cold iron is also a magical property.
No, it's not. It's a material. It has a property.
Adamantine, it's not magic.
Difference in different
So what's the will
systems.
save on the sword? What's the
What'd you
bonus?
get? And I'll tell you.
A 7.
7?
He doesn't have his bonuses, right?
No, the swords.
That was magical.
As you step through, the sword pulsates. The blast of magical effect seems to be only contained in that 5-foot square. The sword seems to resist it, but you can tell like that blast is about to go off again.
I hurl it across the line back. I'm just as shocked as the sword is.
I'm not sure.
I never rolled spellcraft on that sword, did I? I wouldn't matter because I can't detect magic.
That makes sense.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
So how's the sword magical?
It's a good question.
None of you know.
Nice spellcraft.
Sure.
Matter.
No.
Look at that one.
Sure. Would you chew?
You said only
22.
You said only magical items would be affected.
Yeah.
The sword's not magical. I'm talking about.
Oh.
The sword's not magical.
Oh, my mistake. It seems to be.
Step back over and pick it up.
You lied to me.
All those thoughts you've been telling me.
Just start singing. It's a singing song. Does it have any writing on it? I put it on the table. On the side table. Yeah.
Is that the one he got whenever he was fighting that one?
Yes.
I'm sitting at the table.
Yeah.
You walk through.
Yeah, I have Robbie much older.
You step through. The square goes off as you step through. Robbie goes, "Oh God!" and he just kind of like falls into the bag.
Drama queen.
You don't notice. The rest of you notice Perry's skin turn a light blue. He has these odd blue markings that kind of decorate down his face on all exposed parts of his flesh. Not covered in them, but ever so often there is a strange symbol or marking in like a blue ink.
That just spoke
No, that would be
Just the plane.
knowledge the planes.
You
I swanny.
Nat 2027.
That's a sylph.
But you already
Yeah.
Your hair, now you all see this, is gently flowing and fluctuating as if there's a constant breeze that simply is not there.
Wasn't that one guy?
This blue guy just changed him into a blue guy!
Harry! You've been cursed!
We're in Willy Wonka's place! Get out of here before we start to inflate!
Papa Smurf! Papa Smurf! We start
Ragnar's like, I don't even care.
Does it go away after I pass through, or is it just like?
Duration of the spell.
Okay. I step back across the table.
Now that part is true. If he doesn't leave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who are you?
My name is Alice Barr. I am an dimensional traveler and merchant. I have been expected. He gestures to the table.
Expecting us.
Yes. Come here. My sword. He touches the top of it. Said that you had found your way into the teleportation. That's correct.
Yes, from the dragon's lair.
Yes. It wasn't the dragon's lair. More of a place for him to place his items, or gold, or me to collect.
Who are you to employ a dragon?
No, you misunderstand. I do not employ the dragon. I simply work, same as they do. It's all part of something much bigger than myself. I won't bore you with the details.
That we can do with the giant temple, the distance.
That, in a way, yes.
I'm very confused.
He says, I'm sure you have heard of the Nightmare Dragon. Yes,
Yes.
the specific Nightmare Dragon.
Yes. The Sager.
Yes. You see, many years ago, the Nightmare Realm was guarded by a dream dragon. This dream dragon protected any of these denizens of Lean from escaping the Nightmare Realm. But when Sadrak appeared, he slew the dream dragon and took the area for himself. With the aid of a night thief hag, they began to expound their territory. Uncontested, Sadrak began to sire clusters of eggs. These clusters of eggs began to hatch,
And now nightmare dragons are more prevalent than they've ever been before. It is a time of plenty for creatures that feast on dreamers. I'm sure you're from the material plane. Am I correct?
Yes.
I can tell. You see, people that are being infected by the black blood are slipping into a dream state where the black blood puppets their bodies. Their souls, consciousness, emotions are all sent here. They can be feasted upon by hags, nightmare dragons, or used in infernal engines that the creatures of Ling tend to favor. And so, with the increasing numbers of nightmare dragons and these souls,
He gests over to the well in the corner.
that we have collected, they are being used to expand their kingdom. And
He makes that same sound as he like gestures up. That sounds like Axeron.
says is helping to expand that territory. On the nameless rock that I find my place now and that you have found your way to. Also says, to the plateau of Ling, to the nightmare realm. That is what Sadrak seeks to own. And the nightmare hag.
What happens when a dreamer's soul is consumed in the active plane? If they're still technically alive on the material plane?
Technically, they are not. Their body is simply suspended, only regaining itself once they've awakened. If they are destroyed here, when they awake, when the black blood leaves their body, they never awake, staying perpetually in the dream state. An empty husk that will wither and die.
What if those infected by the black blood manage to wake themselves up?
And their consciousness no longer resides here.
But how did they wake? How did we wake ourselves up from it?
He looks confused, like he doesn't know what that means.
The black blood tried to take us.
At that point, I want to try to go through with the axe.
It goes off. If you want it to be broken, I'll say just don't roll a 1, and the magics will fade, and the axe will drop to the ground.
I don't want it to be broken. Like, I don't really care either way. I just didn't know.
With a nat 1, it'll be destroyed.
And it just isn't destroyed. You're giving me that option.
What?
What?
No, he's saying roll the dice,
Oh.
don't roll a 1.
Is it a 1?
No.
Okay.
That's beside it.
So as this guy's just explaining, you're like, just,
I debated so hard.
you no longer have that axe. It's a neat feeling.
Oh,
But you can pick it
God.
back up when we leave and have that.
And after time, it'll come
Well, the
back.
only thing I have on there is fine.
Not even
Thank
pants.
you for that description though, of how that happened. That's gonna live rent free in my head for a while.
I do know.
He rests his hands on his gut.
I do know that it seemed like what I have inside me helped you guys break it. I don't recall how, or even know, but he said he would save you. You're the only one that came out of it, though.
Is it possible for us to save a spirit on this side? We're playing, take them back to the middle realm.
Unfortunately, no. Those streaming cannot leave the plane of dreams. They may become astral projections in the ethereal world, but here, where they remain semi-tangible and cannot enter the plane of the material realm.
It's not their dream. They're being driven here.
Yes,
We were also driven here?
external forces affect things. It's natural. You don't hit a fox for killing a rabbit.
Kill the fox. Those chickens.
Sure. But the black blood is simply acting as it's naturally inclined. The antithesis of life-given sentience.
What's the source of the black blood? Where did it begin?
No. I only know what is, not what
And
was.
you are benefiting. So, Realm is benefiting the Black Blood.
I am a businessman, first and foremost.
What did you do before it was prevalent?
The same thing I do now.
Souls.
If they came across my path, sure.
How often do people come to
I have never seen one. You're the first. The plane of Lean is no place for mortals from material planes.
You saw us coming here. What do you want from us?
Want? There's nothing I want. I provide refuge from what is beyond. I am simply here to tell you what has been collected by the hordes belongs to Sadrak. And I, his banker.
Who's your silent friend in the corner?
She
A
waves.
little bit over her.
That
A literal stargazer, if you will.
That is Jan. She is my bodyguard.
At half its size. More than half, less than half its size.
I see. Could you possibly need to be guarded from?
Oh, the man in my position, you can never be too covered.
You're a banker, dealing in souls.
And well, yes,
What else do you deal
have a look. Help yourself. But just
I start to wander around the room, getting closer looks at the things.
summoned creatures, familiars, animal companions, and magical effects all count as touching.
I'm not touching. I'm just looking. Because you see with your eyes, not with your hands.
Where do you start?
I start on that side.
So, a couple things you notice as you go through here. This is his potions. They're all inert. They look to be alchemical compilations of different things that you don't recognize. You would notice that some of these are mixtures of bloods, ichors, phlegm, different types of bodily fluids from different creatures that you probably can't identify just from the viscous material contained therein. So they are rare alchemical components.
Right.
This is a hex doll, but it seems to be inert. It seems to be nothing more than a trophy. This is another hex doll with a book that I'll need a spellcraft for if you want to know what it is.
That one.
I also rolled in that one?
Oh boy. That one
Hold
right
on,
side.
hold on, I
Bonus!
rolled yet. Let's see. 23.
Oh, darn.
You ruined the streak.
I know.
26.
I think you're a smurf, so, you know, there's that.
Bonus.
Looking at this, you two would know that on the dream plane, there are these devices that people have in their homes. It's like the message spell, but it's continuous. It's like a permanent thing. You pick up the device and place it to your ear. One end receives the voice, and the other end displays the voice from the other person. This book contains a numerical combination for each person that you want to get in contact with in alphabetical order.
A dream
phone
book,
book.
if you will.
It's a
Oh,
phone
that's
book.
nice.
No, it's a dream book.
Dream book.
It's a dream book.
Uh-huh.
I rolled a 23. Do I know what it is?
No.
I wrote a 26.
Make a
I
roll.
know what it is.
Neither of you know what this is.
Okay.
That's great.
At this
That's
point, thus far,
ridiculous.
I would kind of look over my shoulder and say, "You look. It seems you're more of a collector than a banker."
Yeah, he has a dream book and everything.
I know. Those are rare.
He knows everyone.
These are spices and ground coffee beans from plants that you've never even heard of. The best coffee grounds in the plains, in the multiverse.
Some nice candles.
This is a scepter of heaven.
Okay.
This is a void scythe. This is a staff of necromancy. This is a living hexstall. That's a monkey's paw. And that is a mandragora. That's a mandrake. And that's a mandrake root. And that's a well of souls.
It is well.
With my soul?
Do you, as you go through, are you looking at everything?
I am looking at everything.
When you step up, as you're kind of looking over things, he's watching you and just very kind of, as you're doing it, he seems very comfortable. Like, no, you can touch it if you want. Looking into the well, you see a swirling vortex, and in that vortex, you see different figures manifest and then dissipate over and over. You see one of a woman. She's clutching at her tattered clothes as she looks around, scared and confused. Another one is a bald-headed man, scarred face, and he looks weather-worn, and he looks angry. He's just kind of clutching his head, looking from side to side as he disappears, and then another figure forms. This one is calm, simply kind of sitting in position and staring at the ground, and you recognize that as Alamon.
How long? How long has he been?
These souls.
That one in particular.
He walks up.
Oh, that one. That one I'm keeping for a very special occasion. See, that one is a lucid. Very few lucids exist on the dream world, with the exception of the different rulers of the different kingdoms of the dream world. This one, however, seems to be conscious of himself, able to change the world around him. Simply illusions if one is able to see through it, but powerful. Sindrak himself brought him here, for me to take care of.
How long ago?
He said, depends on what you're asking.
How long on the material plane?
Almost 2 decades.
Did he not make it back?
I don't know how much you've told us about your vision.
Look, George, from what I remember.
But you've all met Alamon. You know what you know
Right.
that's that guy.
But, like, his vision was 30 years ago.
What?
20.
20.
Good thing.
So it seems like he was captured forever.
So,
Probably shortly after he pulled Zendrak from No, the dream world.
So, yeah, Alan was attempting to capture Sadrak about 20 years ago.
It's not for me to ask questions.
Is Sadrak working with the Black Blood?
Of course.
How or why?
He's trying to prevent anyone that may be willing to stop it, so that he can continue to harvest souls. Billions of them funneled here
And expand his kingdom.
for him to feed on.
That means if we stop him, your business with him would be finished.
It would seem, yes.
That doesn't bother you.
My business with him would stop. My business would still thrive.
He's a neutral party.
Curiosity question. How long has the Black Blood been going on?
The Black Blood has existed since Earthfall, or Skyfall.
Neat. When was that?
Aeons.
To give you kind of a context of that, Skyfall is when the dwarves came to the surface world. So as long as the dwarves have been on the surface world. As long as elves have been on the material plane.
And what's allowing it to manifest itself onto the material plane? It's traveling through these gates. Yes.
No. The gates exist on the material world. It is locked away in the vaults of Orv.
Then how is it traveling through the material plane?
The vaults of Orv are on the material plane. You're wondering how it's getting to the surface.
Yes.
It's locked away. The magics that have sealed it are weakening. Imagine throwing a pillow at a door. Nothing will happen. But do that for millions of years. An indestructible pillow, the door will give way eventually.
So the doors need to be renewed. The magics that seal it away need to be strengthened.
Even the keys that seal the doors are giving way.
Where are the keys?
That I'm uncertain of.
We had one.
I also feel like
This is where I put a key. If I had it!
I also feel like that's just kicking the can down the road. I don't even know what a can is. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's just pushing the issue further down the road.
It is inevitable. All things die, and the material plane is reaching its end, and all other planes seek to benefit from it, especially Synthra.
I'm just. You said the Black Blood gains sentience.
Yes,
How?
as I said, I don't know. It's older than I am, older than most things. But it's connected to the dream world somehow. That's why everything it absorbs comes here. Maybe it originated here. Maybe it was a nightmare that one of the elder gods had and it manifests into the material world. I can't say.
Why would a mortal in our plane want to work with the Black Blood? What's the benefit for them?
Couldn't say. Maybe he has ties to another plane of existence, hoping to escape. Maybe a nest egg in the dream world for him to retreat to.
Or maybe the thing in the material plane was worse than what he was dealing with there.
Would every plane... Is our plane the only plane that is being attacked by the Black Blood?
Yes, the Black Blood only exists on the true plane.
But if it were to escape to other planes, it would be bad news there,
I suppose.
even for you.
Well, It goes to say the black blood can't affect everything, only life. And yes, it would hurt my cells, but I would imagine there are places that I could frequent that it couldn't reach.
Oddly inconvenient for everyone, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
But until it bothers someone directly, not really your concern, is it?
I'm a businessman, not a philanthropist.
A little short-sighted, though. There was that thing.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that the well?
No,
Okay.
this thing's
That's
the
the
one.
well.
Yeah.
So what's the rest of everything then?
Bookshelf,
Yeah.
changing books.
Yeah.
They fly off the shelf. They go through.
Any particular titles catch my eye?
What do you want to see?
Oh, that is that kind of bookshelf. Any books about demons?
Oh, yeah. When you think of that and you look at the bookshelf, you see them begin to manifest.
You know, with the author, whatever his name.
Anyone? Any particular book about a demon named Thistophilis?
If I could turn back, yeah.
Yes. You see a single book appear on the shelf, all the other books disappear. When you think demons, books appear. When you think that, one book appears.
May I look at one of the books?
I'd appreciate it if you didn't touch it. But if something has caught your eye, maybe we can make a deal.
Who's the author of the book?
Put a pin in that. What's that yellow contraption?
That's with the dial and the pie chart.
God. What does this thing do?
It'll take you to any plane that you'd like to go to.
Huh?
Yes, that I have it attuned to. Not all of them, but several of them. It can also teleport you anywhere onto the dream plane that you would like to go.
For a cost.
Well, of course,
Is it tuned in the material plane?
it could be. Looking to go home, are we?
A little bit.
I move back to the bookshelf, and I'm quiet for a while.
I want you and you to roll sense motive.
Oh wait.
He's getting bored of us.
13.
13?
Yeah.
Well, you can also feel it. Robbie's nervous.
Not that quick. It's like, what's wrong?
Nothing?
No, what's wrong?
Nothing?
What's wrong?
What do you mean?
What are you saying? So you roll sense motive on him?
That's what you were rolling sense motive on.
Oh, on him.
Yes.
Oh.
Is there an empathic link?
Yes.
You can feel his nervousness too.
Yeah, but he didn't roll high enough to know.
Like, what's causing it?
Does he have a bluff?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even then, it would be a cruise. And even then, it would be a charisma modifier.
No, but he's got a +6.
Roll that thing.
That one?
It's not because you're blue and you're a self, he says.
It's not.
And I promise not to tell your dad. I promised your dad not to tell you. Nailed it.
I didn't catch the question.
It's not because you're blue and you're a self. And I promised your dad that I wouldn't tell you.
What? Oh, what?
Didn't I? Oh.
No, that's fine. That's stop.
I look for a glass surface.
Oh.
Trying to, like a mirror, like.
There is a mirror in one of the cases, as a matter of fact. Looking into it, you see how you're going to die.
Really? Is that what it is?
Hang on.
Oh no!
Oh, they should really put a warning label
I'm
on
in
some of
this
these.
room. It's
It's it.
it's right there.
I died in this room. Right over there.
It looks like I suffocated.
In about 45 years. Oh, okay.
Hey, but it looks like I'll say you ate for 45 years. No, that's just how long time passes. It's been 12 years, right?
Ooh-wee.
Also need to roll a knowledge plays on self.
Do you actually? Or do you for Perry or do you for you?
Prepare.
Okay.
I
I was about to say, do you though?
So
I'm also
that
pretty sure-
means-
I'm also pretty sure Dr. Isaac also said, hey, you're yourself.
Roll me a percentile.
Ooh.
17.
Looking into the mirror, you see your reflection. My God, what has he done to you? Robbie says. Damon, back me up here.
I can't understand him.
I rolled a 22.
Is your rabbit okay?
Or
Rat?
on. Oh, yes, sorry. So you see Tigress becomes increasingly nervous.
Perry, you good?
25 on self.
25 on self, you say?
Knowledge self.
So you want to know a lot about yourself?
You are the product of a mortal and a djinn.
Makes sense. Makes sense, but
How?
Do you know your mom?
I just kind of like sit down.
In
where I'm
midair?
at.
No. Shh. It's... Oh, I'm sad now too.
I'm kind of scoot over to Terrace. What you thinking, buddy?
I believe your material plane idea is great. I think that is something, but let's put a pin in that. We need to stop this dragon before we leave.
That is kind of the plan.
Yes. Yes.
Just saying. First things first.
Right.
Great.
Right.
So we're
So, at some point
Mm.
between now and the stopping of this dragon,
Mm.
you're going to, tell me why you have such a strange and obscene fascination with getting to the dream plane to begin with, because you almost murdered Alaman when he said he couldn't do that.
Oh, I was just. We'll talk about it.
That's the straightest answer I've gotten from you, and that's surprising me.
Yes. We will discuss this later. It is something that I have been meaning to reconcile.
Now, Perry, you get there, buddy?
Yeah,
Mhm.
just my whole life is a lie, and that's not discovering the truth.
Oh, you're actually sad about that. It's okay.
That you're a self?
So it would seem.
Parents matter.
I'm not mad at you, Ron.
I've known since the play. I thought I told you.
So this is his fault.
Apparently, a lot of things are.
Everything.
Knowledge should blames on the guy
You are an
sitting
agent of
across
chaos.
the big
I'm
guy.
here for it.
You may.
12?
I don't think that.
No.
Does he know Perry?
You didn't charge it.
Does he? Did he know Perry's mom? Is this your real dad?
My
Let's
good
tell
friend,
him.
did we get a name? By
Alice
chance?
Farr.
Yeah, Alice Farr.
Alisvar. Mr. Alisvar.
Yes.
What type of creature might you be? Because you're perplexing me and you're
I am rare, but I'm known as a mercane.
Oh,
arcane.
Yes.
well, there goes my deductive reasoning.
Mercanes are merchants of all things magical. Mercanes are relatively non-combative. But we prefer to bargain, haggle, or, in my case, play for certain oddities.
Like,
Yes. He says most of the things I've got in here were done through gambling. I find it much more exciting for somebody to have a chance. I never steal. I have so much to offer that a lot of people can't say no.
Well,
I don't know.
So play or haggle.
Whatever you
Is
prefer.
that what you're saying?
Or is there something that's caught your eye?
Yes.
And what would that be?
This book.
Sure. I'll put it up for your sword.
Can we all see the book?
yeah. It exists. It manifests.
I
It's
didn't know
there.
it was only visible to him.
The sword.
Yes.
Only a 19 on appraise in the book.
I thought I knew everything about the sword. Can you tell me about it?
He walks over to the edge of the line. He tilts his head and he looks at it.
This
That
guy's
one.
eat up with appraise.
The cold iron that coats the blade. It's not forged.
It's dipped.
Correct. And sharpened. Whatever has cursed this blade has subdued its magical properties in the encasing.
So remove the cold iron. There's a curse underneath?
No, the cold iron is the curse. If you try to break it, it'll shatter the sword beneath it.
Oh.
Do you know how to make potions to remove curse? I'm sure I could apply that to a weapon.
Roll me a spellcraft.
10?
You believe that.
I want to sense motive to see if he's telling me everything about it.
Roll that thing.
Roll that barrel. Boom, boom.
What?
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Not a sponsor.
But it could be.
Or
accepted.
22.
With a 22, he seems in earnest. Like he'd have no reason to deceive you, but it has sparked his interest what that is. The book doesn't necessarily mean anything to him.
Right.
It's something his shelf can conjure.
But the sword itself is an oddity that
Yes.
attracts his interest.
Correct.
They're done now.
Somebody went through a lot of trouble to curse that blade, and he is interested in what's beneath.
Do you know what's
Hey,
beneath the cold iron?
I do not.
The sword was won from an undead paladin champion. An outcast from my previous order. One who had a definite grudge against the goddess Aradi.
Continues to look at him.
Is the sword worth more with the curse broken?
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know what's beneath it. But it was important enough to suppress whatever it was.
It's literal shoulder angel and shoulder demon, these guys.
Little.
I'm not that small.
So my gaze kind of glances from the book to Tone.
Hold up, though.
Just a glance. Maybe even not enough to catch his attention.
Are you sure about that?
Roll for perception.
Oh,
A
yeah.
sense motive.
Can I do a spellcraft to know what it would take to break that curse?
Yes.
$27.
With a 27, there's a lot that's factored into it. There's a lot that factors into it. What the sword is, how it was done, right? But if that sword is a holy artifact that has been tainted, which all these clues have led you up to believe, it could possibly be done through wish, miracle, or divine intervention.
Very high level clerical spells.
Yes. Also, if you'd like to roll me a wisdom save, I can give you a clue to something that you have seen. Or I can keep my mouth shut and let you play in character.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom.
Is it cute?
He believes whatever the heck you say.
1.
You've never heard. Yeah, this is.
You believe everything he just said.
Yeah, you're like, no, it's impossible. It's impossible. Besides those three things, there's nothing
There's
else.
no
It's definitely not right.
religious journey going back to Ray. That would make this. Nope.
Can I retract my roll? Because I really am an idiot. In real life. Not Damon, Amos. I kind of
If you figure it out on your own,
I figure it out on my own.
Yeah, I was just going to give you a clue, but something has been mentioned.
Yeah, I walk back over to this, across the threshold to the sword and pick it up. Take it across the threshold.
It bursts out again. The sword reverberates, but then it stops. The pulse of Mage's Disjunction bursts out again. Do you hold it there until it goes? It goes inert.
Cold iron fall off the...
No.
No.
Just because it's inert doesn't mean that. Because it will be if you break the cold iron, it will break the blade. It will break. Yeah, and you've just made it much easier to break. Neat thought, though.
And shake my head, take it back across the table. I will...
Bringing back stuff that happened many sessions.
I will pass by the trade. However, I would be interested to play for the board.
And what do you put up in exchange if you lose? The sword?
No, I'll feel free.
One of those denizens.
It's probably worth it. Say this.
So is that what you say? Do you holler that, or are you
In
a
my
little wrapped up?
misery, I'll give you that. I'll go 3.
So
We can play for an agile kukri.
No. Oh, but agile kukri is down dust. I'm only interested in oddities, like cursed axe, cursed sword, a magical haversack. Something
How,
do you have anything of curseness?
I think I am the curse.
Oh, I
It's
offer
already been
myself.
saved.
Somebody's already got that.
not yet, he doesn't. How about a cursed sword?
I'll tell you what.
He kind of scratches his jaw.
It seems all of you are interested in something. He says, if you win, I will give you something that you seek. If you lose, I get to pick an item from each of you to keep for myself. And to show you there's no hard feelings, I'll even let you rest here for the night.
Do we get that for free even if we don't play?
Yes.
What is the game?
The game, I will explain the rules if you take my offer.
I'm personally A-okay with finding things out online. I do appreciate it. Looking at the bookcase, I do kind of think, I just think of books written by Daka Izatov to see if any books show up on the shelf.
That same one.
Can I kind of hold up my formula book and see if it's a similar, like, cover style?
There's a lot of similarities. It is not the same book.
Sure. Okay.
One may be made out of flesh.
Who's flesh?
And inked in blood.
Multiple persons. You think he's single use? Oh, man.
Oh, come on. From someone whose name means exalted carver of flesh, I think a book would be normal.
Can I make a suggestion? What about Alaman?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not thinking clearly. Considering you were holding like a big deep dark secret.
I made a
my
promise.
entire
He
life.
made me promise. I was his familiar first.
How did you not know?
Well, technically, you couldn't have. Well, you could have told me like the last months, but we couldn't communicate before.
You're right, so it's not my fault.
I mean, for the
Whatever that means, yeah. There's nothing I want here. Help me.
I can still hear him to this day.
Because I'm like, and you see Alaman, and you were all like, and I was like,
I was trying to figure out what does it mean. What does that mean? Wait a
who the
minute.
hell is Alaman?
No. It's like we just saw him, didn't we? What's he
Yeah,
doing here?
it's as if his consciousness existed somewhere else.
Oh,
Because he's mad.
I missed that.
We talked about the whole fact
Not
that
the sorcerer that has power over dreams and can lucidly dream.
This is the reason we're here, is because of him.
And he's Luke's father. No?
Who?
No?
Who?
Who's Luke?
What's a father?
What is
Who's the guy with asthma?
Who's the monkey?
So,
I'm a bad GM.
No.
bad players.
There's a lot going
So,
on to keep
it's
up
all-
with.
So I had no way I could think of that wasn't risking my own stuff. To be like, oh, I can rescue Alaman because he's gonna prize possession.
But if we win,
With the ownership of my haversack.
I think he can hear you.
Very well.
May I speak to you for a moment? Tara says.
Sure.
Yeah, come with me. He takes you over to the
He
side.
doesn't even wait for you to respond.
He says, listen, there's a lot of things this guy has that we can really use. Not that I'm trying to railroad the campaign. But, he says a couple of things. Firstly, information. He knows some stuff that he's not willing to talk about.
Right.
Maybe some things in that version. Secondly, your dad's friend.
Yes.
He could help us.
Yes.
Because that's why he couldn't help us there, because he's here.
Right.
We could get that. We can also teleport to anywhere we want in the material, in the dream world.
Like right behind Stage Drive. Murder.
Yes, that's a thing. Don't know how dangerous that would be, but yes. Need a rest before that.
We teleport inside the Stage Drive.
I don't think that's how teleport works.
I know it's not, but
Ew. Anyway.
Hercules and way out of there, you know.
Or, and he's like, besides, there's something that I want as well. He says, if we can convince him of this, to put all this up, this may be a thing that we need to do.
What specifically?
To gamble for these things.
Yeah, but why do we need more than someone?
I mean, we don't.
But you want one.
You don't?
I mean, I'm fine.
Okay, then we could just get out.
I think it all depends on what the game is, too. Like, I'm not going to read your game before I know the rules.
Then how about we put it up and ask him to present the rules, and then we'll decide after that.
I'm just not losing the conversation.
You may need to convince him of that. I can help you convince him of that.
Yeah, I just gave ownership of it. It's not mine.
Wonderful. I can help you convince him of that.
Loopholes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Would you like that? Give you some pointers on diplomacy? Sure. I can make your bonuses.
If I lose my haversaw, my father's haversaw, one of two things that I have, one of at least three things that I have of him. Be very upset.
I'm sure. Yes, so will I. It's a thing.
I trust you.
Good. Come here, he says. He begins kind of explaining and talking to you, right? And he's kind of coaching you on how to spin this and present it to him. On your next diplomacy check, you get a plus 18 to your die roll without your bonuses.
So replacing. Okay.
Yeah, you're using his diplomacy now. It's called honeyed words.
Surprisingly close to him. That makes me feel bad.
I feel like we've all become close. Who's hard? Show of hands. 1, 2, 3. My man Hugo.
Oh, I thought you said show your. Amos, it's.
So far, I may be interested in playing this game, depending on what the rules are, on the condition that there are just a few things that I would not be willing to pick up as they are sent more than
Okay.
being my spell book, my hand hammers.
Unfortunately, many of those things have very little meaning to me. And haversack seemed unique. That's why I suggested it. What are you willing to play for? What do you want?
For starters would be, soul.
Which one? Don't touch that.
That one.
Power word kill!
Wait, what?
That's what that symbol is.
Oh. Dear God. This room is a walking death trap.
I tried my best to tell you
made
that.
it very clear. I'm just constantly twitching, like, no, can't touch, don't touch. Don't
You
even
go into the
breathe.
bathroom and you're like, I have to go. But it's trapped. It's a mimic.
Oh no.
He hit his phone.
He says, but Lucy, Sadrak would be less than pleased if I watched him. So what are you willing to give on stage? It would be something from each of you.
because it's so much different than the agile food green.
I have it.
What's that?
It's not necessarily magic in nature. I kind of like whip out my chain whip, kind of show it dexterously. This chain whip is extremely old. Used by the demons of old. It's something. You looking at your collection, you go for the eclectic, not the pure gold cost, if you will.
Sure. Interesting, yes. I find that interesting.
What about? Well, that's over here. Got that.
What about the rest?
I will surrender all of my magical items. Tara says.
Not bad. Just for the talk.
Alright, that should be good.
Hold on. So the terms being
Each of them is good for something.
that in turn, if we win, each of us gets to pick something.
You get all of them.
Those are not fair terms.
You don't have to play.
But the dealer, while looking for the best deal, also tries to make a fair deal.
Hmm.
Deal with Sindrak on such terms.
He has much more to offer than you do.
Well,
Sadrak.
I just don't see how we
Can I aid him in diplomacy?
Sure.
Fine, because I'm going. I also, if our plans go to fruition, Sadrak will not be an issue so much. I should have asked for the diplomacy roll instead of the. I rolled a nat 20, so it's a 35.
I'll give you +4.
Okay. Plus 22.
You roll a 1. I'm walking out the door.
Get your shoes on, buddy.
Alan
No.
and the book. The bonus.
4.
Oh, if we win.
What are you?
4
Well, it'd be each one of us giving up something. So it'd
Yes.
obviously be my sword.
Of my turn. I like that. And you.
You got?
What do
Well,
you
yeah.
got?
Oh,
What you got?
Alaman and book. What are you willing to give up?
See, if we're all giving something of value to ourselves, then I just don't see how that's going to work.
I don't know. It looks like a jump.
He's right.
by the way, the void scythe is worth 93,000 gold pieces.
I don't really know what any of this stuff is.
That looks like a good weapon. I'll point to the void scythe. You can really like kill some people with that.
What's Ragnar saying?
Okay. I'll give you all my items for the side.
All of your magical items in your soul are at that site.
I don't even know if I have a soul to give you. I show him the rope of climbing.
Neat. Ito burrito.
I don't know. There's nothing in there.
Let's check.
An opulent chest appears on the board, on the table. He opens it, reaching in, his massive hand and arm disappearing deeper than the chest is. He produces a belt of giant strength. +2.
Yeah, that worked.
And in exchange,
Wherever you want.
the axe.
Sure.
He pulls out a robe. What do you get taking spellcraft?
17.
10 on spellcraft.
17.
17? You have no idea what this robe is.
It increases the potency of all your alchemical bonds.
Neat. I was gonna ask for information or a bullet.
That you could do as well.
I appreciate it. I just don't know what I have to give you.
All of your natural items.
One condition. I keep the vest. My shirt I woke up with.
Sure. Or Alamar, you say.
Roll me diplomacy.
What is it? You're just
No.
and take you as I was it.
He walks up to the Mercane.
Secrets from your friends. I'm interested.
Roll that thing.
Right, they roll that for my diplomacy.
So is it a perception?
18.
To hear?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That way.
Straight up
26.
Let's go with a 26, nat 20.
18. I'm not listening yet.
Can't be rude. He says, I wish to know the location of my daughter's soul.
But not the soul itself.
He says, do you have it or can you get it to me?
Of course. The location. I do have it where it is.
Terry steps back.
He says, all of this for Sadrak's prized possession, which technically isn't mine to kill.
Prized possession.
Yes.
Oh, Alamon is?
Yes.
Did you not hear Perry describe what Alwan did to that dragon?
Sadrak's that afraid of
Petty. Discontent.
Yes.
You would also know that, yeah, Alamon snatched him out of a different plane of existence. Also, you saw Alamon open up a portal to the dream world, something that should be impossible.
I'm in Perry.
I feel they're fair terms. Plus 22, was it?
Plus
Yeah.
22.
39.
Yes. I agree. So, let's
Now, we can either cut it off here, I can explain the rules and we can cut it off, or if you want to play longer, we can play.
I'm not lasting much longer.
Okay.
Explain.
We'll split.
You want to explain?
Explain.
So, the game is called Bound.
What you will do is you will roll a d20. I will roll 3d6, and then you will roll your second d20. When you roll your first d20, you will call the number once you've seen it, and whether it's high or low. The objective is to get both d20s on either side of the numerical value of my 3d6.
You want one to be higher and one to be lower. Now, in a typical game of Bound, that is where it would end. But I have special rules. He waves his hand. You see 4 cards appear on your side of the table and 4 cards appear on his side of the table. The game will be played in phases. After you roll your d20, calling out its value, I will roll mine. If mine is higher when you call high or lower when you call low, I automatically win. Or if the numerical value equals the value on the d20, I automatically win. However, if you roll low, call low, and it remains low, and then the next one is higher, he says, then we move on to the next phase of the game. Each one of the cards laid out before you is a buff. It'll allow you to do something to change the value of the dice on the board. So even if I do win, we will continue to play into the new phases so that you can change the value of mine or your dice to benefit you. But if I win the phases, he gestures at his cards, I have buffs that I may use. The game will be played in 4 phases. He says, I will play best out of 3 bound with each of you. If you win best out of 3, rolling your die, calling high or low, seeing my die, and then rolling your second die, that will be the phase. You win best out of 3, you get to pick randomly from one of your buffs. You may choose to hold it, or you may play it immediately. That is up to you when it is played. If you choose to hold it, it will go on to the next shooter, the next player that I play against, and they may choose to do with it what they will. The rules are no magics, no outside help, and no cheating. It says, once it is someone's turn, the rest of you will stand in a cone of silence, unable to speak or help the other person. Do you find this acceptable?
Yeah, it's just
Yes.
all my items.
Let's do it.
Then let the games begin.
He waves his hand. You see 3d6 appear on the board, and then 2d20 appear in front of all of you. He grins, stepping back as he scoops up his die. And now, roll. And we will pick it up here next time. Thank you very much for joining us, adventurers. Remember that this has been a good day to die. See you.